All right, our first phone video here. You get to listen to my squeaky chair, but welcome to All In RC's first video that we're going to start doing. Page has changed. We don't race anymore. We gave that crap up. Went back to the RC world, even though we do some racing in the RC world. Do a little bit of everything around here. Give a quick introduction. Basically, All In RC is exactly that. We're All In RC. We do just about anything and everything. We got airplanes, helicopters, crawlers, go fast stuff from buggies to off-road four-wheel drive to sprint cars, modifieds, you name it. We kind of mess with it. So anything micros, full size. Right now you see on the board here we got 10 scale. Reason I'm starting here with the crawlers because that's what I'm mostly messing with right now. That's what we are mostly messing with, the All In RC shop. That's kind of the program. Doing a lot of new builds. I got one sitting over there. I'll give a little sneaky peeky on that one. But going through where there seems to be a lot of newcomers that are coming into the program. They want to play with toy trucks. Mostly the crawling stuff. It's easy to get into. A lot of RTR stuff out there. Got to be a little bit careful with RTR. It's not always what you want or what you think you want. They're going to advertise, they're going to do things, and they're going to tell you, oh yeah, this is this. Experience is going to tell you. That's why some of the guys like myself out here doing videos, trying to help people not make mistakes that we've all made at one point in time. You may still do it. Hey, that's up to you. I can't control you. But we're here to help you in little ways of getting started on a good path, depending on what you plan to do with your RC crawler or car in general. I'm trying to do this a little bit, it's crawler based, as you can well tell, but I'm trying to make sure that I put some stuff in there that can go towards like sometimes like your basher or buggy stuff, whatever. Everything has its place, so it's hard to, you almost got to separate it, so maybe we'll just do that. Everything we do here is off the cuff, just so you know. Doing a video on the phone just because I don't have my other stuff set up yet. I'm trying to figure out room, organize the shop, revamp the shop to do this kind of stuff yet again. Wintertime's coming, so I don't heat it 24/7. And, of course, we live in Maryland where it's not cold where I used to live, but it is still getting to the cold point where batteries, cameras, things of that nature, electrical components, we'll call it, they're more temperature sensitive, especially LiPo batteries. Gets a little hairy, so we got to be careful with what we do. Anyway, without dragging this on, real quick into the crawler stuff. You're going to see a little bit of RTR. You're going to see a little bit of crazy. So if you want to get into the crawling thing, and there's people that are coming up, they're asking questions, they want to know, what do I do with what truck to get, whatever. And I'm not going to say I know everything, but we're going to go with what I do know. So if you want to get into crawling, just have fun with it. The nice part is, let's go off beaten path like I like to do. You can take this thing just about anywhere. They're slow. They're a walking pace for the most part, maybe heated walking pace, get a little extra hitch and you giddy up. Some faster than others, depending on what you do or how they come out of the box, tire size, etc. We'll get into that in later videos. But most of your crawlers, you can take them to a park, take a trail walk, and do things of that sort where people don't get mad because you're not go fasting. You're not ripping around things that haul or whatever. I got tons of stuff I could show you. We're not going to get into it. But these things are pretty low-key to where people don't frown on it as much. So it's a very good way to get into RC at a slower pace. You don't tear that much stuff up unless you get a little throttle happy. But it's low-key. It's relaxing to a lot of us. But to get into it, I would say pick up something, depending on your budget. Let's go with the lower budget. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to like this and that, or I don't want to invest $500-600 by the time, say you have nothing. So you're going to need batteries, you're going to need a charger, you're going to need a truck. You could easily get to that $500-600 range. Yes, you can get cheaper ones. Let me tell you, if you budget the $500, you're going to get a decent ride. If you're going to be like, well, I'll get one for $250, you're not going to be happy with it because you're going to spend $250 and then you're going to spend the $500 and et cetera, if you keep going. Or you're going to have an experience that's subpar, that is going to take that $250 and you're going to throw it away, or you're going to give the truck to somebody because you hate it, you can't stand it. That experience should never happen. If you're into this kind of stuff and you like it, you don't go cheap on it, cheap, but you don't have to go crazy expensive, and this one's not too expensive. One over here that you're going to see a little bit higher. But go RTR. Axial. Now, this thing is in pieces. Don't mind it. I'm doing some stupid stuff with it. This is basically was a base camp, okay? Axial base camp, SCX10 platform, actually SCX10.3 Portal. We have portals, okay? We'll get into that later videos. SCX base camp, you can't really go wrong with it. It's a good all-around vehicle. The aftermarket support in this doesn't look like a base camp, I know. Look it up online, you'll see what this thing is supposed to be. The aftermarket support is incredible. It's everywhere. It's on Amazon, it's SSD, it's Trio, it's all these different brands make everything and anything you could possibly think of for an SCX10 and Axial platform. It's out there. You could get crazy. You could do SCX10.3, you could go Pro with it. There's all sorts of stuff on there if you look up Axial. Axial is a good starting point just because of the accessories that you can get for cheap that's out there, made by a lot of different companies, US, China, etc., etc. You can get crazy and very easily find the stuff. So it's a very good platform to go off of. And you can find them used, going back to the budget thing that I kind of went off the rails with. Say your budget's not that $500-$600, go on Marketplace, try to find something decent. You know, like this one here was dirty. But yeah, hopefully it's in frame. I can't see what I'm doing with the phone. But I cleaned it up. Cleaned it up real good. Everything's in working order. Trans is over there. That's why it's apart. Rip it apart, cleaning it, going through it, and figuring out what I'm going to do with it. If I'm going to trail ride it, whatever. Different topic. But yeah, try to find one. I mean, you can find one if you don't care if it's Portal. Portals will help you because you can see the difference in clearance where the hub is. Straight axle, your axle is going to be this much higher. So your 10, 12 millimeter. Doesn't sound like a lot in the RC world. It is. Can help you, but it also gets a little tippy. Center of gravity gets higher. Get into that in later videos. But find something on Marketplace. If it's Axial, make sure it's clean. Go look at it. Try not to do the shipping thing. You never know what can happen there. Be cautious. But if you want to go new, go new. Hobbytown, in my area where I'm at, we have a Hobbytown, First State Hobbies. They have that kind of stuff. If you're out Western Maryland, you got Key City Hobbies. They are a wealth of knowledge, and you could take the vehicle. As long as you got the money to put it all together, you could take it that day and go crawl inside on the rocks, no matter the weather. So consider that. All right. So you could go that route. Used, whatever. A lot of used stuff on Marketplace. Keep an eye on it. Next one, that's this critter right here. All right, this is a Redcat. Now there is a hate. There's a love and hate thing with Redcat. Either you love the Redcat or you hate it. I love it. I have had no issues. There is people that will trash talk a Redcat. Yes, certain things are proprietary. Yes, their front end geometry is subpar in certain things. You got to do some stuff. Know what to do with it. But out of the box, though, this thing has been good. It's got a fusion setup in it, Hobby Wing fusion motor. Very good. Has FOC in it, which is kind of, I don't want to say cruise control, but power control. Just hold the throttle, and it'll go. And if you hit something of a threshold or a wall, it automatically senses it, and you don't have to move the throttle and give it any more juice like a regular car with throttle or a truck with throttle. It'll just kind of do its own little thing. So it has a very nice feature in there. It's not a Hobby Wing fusion that you would buy out of the store that has more capabilities. It's just a basic fusion, but it's still very good, and I'm actually still running that motor in this. I haven't changed it out. I felt no need. It does the thing. It does what it wants to do. Very good crawler. Very few upgrades. This is not the factory body. It's over there. I didn't get it. But yeah, it's been through the paces. I mean, she's got some battle scars. Axle-wise, yes, it's kind of proprietary in a sense where the pumpkin is on its own little world. Now, trying to put one of these in there, oh yeah, it looks like that would go right in if we got that in frame. But where your links and stuff are, okay, yeah, the axle would fit. I tried to put this axle in here, it just wasn't working out. The motor location is different than the Axial. Your third link is different. It wasn't working out. I kind of gave up on it for right now. We're going to get back to it. But only reason why is the aftermarket support that you have with these axles compared to the Redcat axles is far greater. That's the only reason I was doing it. But we're still on Redcat. It's a great little truck. It has been on the big tires. I got little small 419 tires on it right now, testing out the Class 1 Sorca. Different video. Just testing out to see how it does, even though I don't have the body and stuff done yet for Class 1. Excellent little truck. It's been abused. I'm not always the nicest person to the poor thing. Sorry, buddy. But it's been put through the paces, and it has proven itself pretty rugged. Like, again, I have very little. The original shocks I'm running in it, I have not changed that. I did put higher clearance links in it, and these are like $18 links off of Amazon. I'm like, let me try a set before spending, because you can spend up to $70 for a set if you want to get crazy. Just wanted to try some things out, and so far I put them on there, went to Key City, ran it, night and day difference. Even with the little tires, it was performing better than my stance that's over there. I don't have it here. So getting into it, trying to simplify this and not make a huge long video and my phone die on me. Getting into it, try to find something used, a decent RTR. Stay away from your cheaper stuff. Stay within, my opinion, stay within that $500, that $400 to $500 range. It's going to get you a very stout, supported vehicle. And again, Redcat is, there's two different versions of this. I've had no trouble with their parts. They have it online. There's not a lot of aftermarket support, but the truck hasn't really needed it. It's so, with the 419s on it, the way it sits right now, factory, 90% factory in this truck, it is so stable. It does its thing. So if you want the thing, get the thing. But excellent truck. Axial is excellent too, even though this one is apart. Vanquish makes there's the stance. They have the mullet. We'll get into that later. But the stance has been a great vehicle. For an RTR vehicle to get into, it's great. If you're handy with tools, mechanic, can put stuff together, follow instructions. The kit is a little bit better. You're going to get the carbon frame rails. I don't care either or, aluminum or carbon. It makes a difference to me. I just think you get a little more out of the kit where you're not getting tires. It's not ready to run. You don't get the remote, etc. So you would have to have that stuff beforehand. But if you're really looking to dig into it, the kit is somewhere to go. You're gonna go further with the kit for less money. By the time you buy the RTR and change it over to the kit, you'll end up spending more. But if you're not a tinkerer, you just want to run the truck, put a battery in it, get a charger, get a battery, put it in it, rock and roll. Vanquish stands for the Redcat Fusion has been my two favorites so far. Axial, nothing wrong with it. The Pro is a kit, just like the Vanquish. What I don't like about Axial that bothers the living crap out of me is the skid plate. I don't know if I'm in frame or not. See how that skid plate hangs down? Okay. Your sliders. We got sideways railroad tracks going on here, railroad ties. All right, that's not a slider to me. Like, you might as well take these right off. You're just going to get caught on everything. Skid hanging low. Kind of bugs me. All right, Redcat, see that skid? I don't know if I'm in frame. We'll turn it a little bit. She's flat. So your flat transition right to your links. Something I look at. But, again, aftermarket support is excellent. Basecamp doesn't offer a flat skid, but it's still a good vehicle. If you're looking to just trail, have fun with it, not comp, so to say. I'm more compy with some of these. But, yeah, on the RTRs, Vanquish, Axial, Redcat, yeah, it's hard to go wrong with that. They're kind of the three top, in my opinion. There's so many more out there, but those are kind of my three, my go-tos. So we can put this Duracell battery over here. Hey, buddy. So after that, if you want to get crazy, we're not going to dig into this because I'm going to go into more RTR stuff. This is more of a custom build. I bought it used just because I wasn't sure what the hell to do. So they don't make this chassis anymore. Sadly, the company went out of business. But online, yeah, I think the axles came from, what is that, AliExpress or whatever. You're going to wait for them, but there it is. Inexpensive build, even though it looks high-tech. I've never cleaned the wiring up. I just run it. This is your Class 3. It's a pretty serious, capable rig. You could get that far if you want. All right, and there's the body for it. We'll just kind of half-ass it. So, squatting a little bit in the rear, but you get the gist. So, things can get nutty with that. Then you get into the Class 2, which Class 2 is your Fusion that we just had sitting here, Duracell truck. We'll get Class 3 out of here, old school out of the way. Go hang out with your brother. So when you get into Class 2, you can get nuts. Now this is a kit that costs $500 in itself. Now you get a lot. This is an Ottsix Wizard. Just picked it up recently. I haven't finished the wiring. I've just been testing stuff. You get the tires, you get the rims, axles, basically everything except the electronics is what you get in this kit for $500 right now. And I know the price is going to go up at some point. Fantastic kit. If you're into building these things, oh my Lord. The machining is spot on, perfect. Every screw hole threaded perfect. Every hole in the chassis lines up perfect. I'm going to do a video thing on this thing. It's phenomenal for a kit. I mean, you could buy other stuff from Corrupt Carbon Works, Deluxe, etc., etc., etc. The thought that went into this, the love that went into this creation, through the moon. But anyhow, yeah, you're going to be deep well over $1,000 into this before it even starts getting moving. So we'll put that over there as I kick the camera. So you get an RTR, all right. Say, all right, we got this fancy base camp, picture transmission. All right, you're going to get factory tires. These are factory Element tires that I have cut because they are kind of hard. They don't have that nice softness to them. Pretty crappy. RTR tires are usually subpar. So your first upgrade, I would say, would be rims and tires. If you want to even do rims, you usually get plastic ones are over there. I'm not going to get them right now. These are steel RC four-wheel drive rims that I despise. We'll get into that a different day. But they're just very hard. Now, if you trail ride, if you're just putzing around the trails, having fun with the car and with a group of people, say you got 3 or 4 people who want to get into it, you're walking trails, good exercise, getting out there and playing with your little truck, great tire. Don't throw them away. You can always use these things. I keep them. I don't know why. I probably never use them, but some people will. So you can use that tire. Your next step is going to be, say you're on Amazon. All right, we're saving money right now. We're budget oriented. You get some of these, what they call their Rocks tire, the Super Swamper. This is just their TSL version. Injora, I don't even know how to say it. Their tires, there's Amazon tires that do work well. I don't have any of my other ones here, but we have, these are for a mini, or micro actually, little 1-inch wheel. These are made by Power Hobby. They're actually not too bad. They're not as sticky as a Jcon or a Predator by Proline, but they're not bad. They're really not that bad. But these are an upgrade. They work. I've had them on a truck. They grab stuff, and they're cheap. Off the top of my head, I don't know the price, but they're cheap. You can look them up on Amazon. They're not terrible. If you're not into the comp thing and you just want a tire that works a little bit better, that has a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of it. But you want a tire that works with itself. They're not shabby at all. You could do that. And the next step would be your Jcons, which I had on the 3, or your Voodoos, which is on the Ottsix. These get into more your Jcon Green or your Proline Predator. I'm a Jcon guy. Love Jconcepts. Their green compound is beautiful. It works. You can have any tread tire just about in a green compound from Jcon, and it's going to find traction. It's phenomenal. These are Voodoo. We'll get into them later. But RTR tire, it'll work. You're going to want more. You could go that route, save yourself a bunch of money instead of spending $25, $28 a pair for Jcon Greens. But like this whole package here, I mean, you can do rims on Amazon like your Enora or your, what we call the 1.5s. They're a cheaper rim. Say $40 for a set of 4 rims. You could be in it $30 for tires, so easily under $100 for tires off of Amazon. Not a problem. You could still do that with Jcons because you're looking at 28, say $30 a pair, so you're at 60, 40, you're going to be at that $100 mark, just so. But again, if you're not comping, doing the competitions, you don't have to do that kind of stuff. You can if you want. But yeah, you could do budget tire, not a problem. But that is going to be your first upgrade, I would say, is tire. If you have a ready-to-run vehicle, it's ready to boom, 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 put a battery in and go. You got your battery, you got your charger. You're on your tires. You're on those nice factory RTR tires, and you're like, oh man, this thing is doing good. You're happy with it. Okay, a couple months down the road, weeks, whatever it may be. oh, those tires look good. Find something that's got a little stickier of a compound, something that has a little more, can't think of that word, but more compliance. Ha, there it is. Get that softer tire. Like I said, a Jcon Green or a Predator, a Proline Predator compound tire, and it will work. It's going to change your game. You're going to be like, whew, hell with those. Here we go. We're going on like the Anora up to the greens, into the Jcon. That's a heck of an upgrade. Tires in RC is big. Big. I can't explain it. It's big. Okay. Tires. Inserts, we're going to get on this little video thing. I'll help you out with that the best I can. But if you're on a budget, all right, you don't want to put a lot of money into it, I've been running these. I've had Proline inserts. I haven't had alt foams yet, but I've had Crawler Innovations. Still have. I have no complaints. Vanquish ones. I have ones that I've custom created. 3-stage, 2-stage. Complete single stage with fridge foam. I mean, we're going to get into that later. But these things are from Amazon. I think that Globact or whatever, Globact, I don't know how to say it, has them. They're like $15 for 4 of them. I got the other 3 over there. I'm actually running these in good old Duracell over here. You've seen him up here. He's going to come back and make an appearance. So good old Duracell. That's the Redcat Ascent Fusion that everybody hates on, but works. These are for the 419. You can get them for a 475, the next bigger tire, in comp status. But that's what goes inside the tire. Get your soft outside foam. Now, Proline makes an inner foam. There's one over there I can't reach at the moment, but why I went with these, and I don't like rotating mass that much, but I needed some cheap weight. So for $15, you get 4 of these. Corner weight, I didn't weigh the tires yet. I can do that at some point. We got a little scale. This is made out of a pretty dense rubber, not a foam. So yes, if you get into it, it can be bouncy if it's in there, but that's where the foam comes in. Foam is your outside, your dual stage. Harder, softer. So this is going to have the compliance with the tire to the rock. That's what's going to give you that nice little fold. So yes, there are $40 a set foams that you can put into these things. $80 in foam to put in tires. Yes, that's a thing. You don't have to. I am running this exact thing inside of this truck on these tires, and this truck has been fantastic on Jcon rock blocks, green compound with cheap Globact inserts. I have no complaint whatsoever. None. Excellent. So you do not have to spend the high top dollar. You might have to futz with them a little. They do take some break-in. This is a stiffer foam. It's not as soft as some. But run this truck, a couple battery packs, go through 3, 4, 5 packs, have out there on the rocks or trail, whatever, and get that thing working. And it starts really making a compliance with that tire and that foam and working itself in. And then you start to get all of that. Once that thing breaks in and gets a little softer, this thing's excellent. And you got free weight without going to a silicone insert, which I hate because they're like, when you're running over rough stuff, the suspension, I'm full droop, so I have nothing to go down. It just goes the other way. So, yeah, you're going to be bouncy a lot of times. 3D printed ones, they break in like crap to me. I don't like them. I'm an old school foam guy. I like foam. Foam breaks down. It just works. It just works. You got to stay out of the water with these, but it works. But the rubber is free weight, okay? Unsprung weight in some of the lowest parts of the vehicle you could get it. And that helps with your stability. So, yeah, we could go off on a tangent on stuff, and it's already gotten ugly. So let's leave all that alone, and let's go back to RTR to where, again, Redcat Ascent Fusion has been good to me. I cannot complain about this truck. Axial, still in the building process of this critter. Since I've had it, it's never ran. I've just been hacking at it. Vanquish stance, I have one of them. Trying to think off top. That's like the big 3 to me. Your Vanquish, RTR, Redcat Ascent Fusion, great. All Redcat stuff is so much fun. It's easy to work on, and they make a lot of it. There is aftermarket stuff. Just got to look for it a little harder. And the Axial SCX platform, SCX10 platform. If you're going 10 scale, there is minis and stuff. We're not going to get into that yet. But for RTR 10 scale trucks to have fun with, those are the 3. Now remotes, we're going to do this real quick, not to bore everybody. Hopefully this thing is still recording. Okay. If you got stuff and you've been in RC, you're probably going to have something a little higher tech. This is a Spectrum DX5 Pro. It's an older one. I've had it for a very long time. I have a Sanwa M17 in the house. It's like, it basically has like a cell phone on the front of it. Yeah, they get technical. This is what I use for the crawling and most of my BS. Just because I had it for so long, it's like I've literally thrown it in anger, and it's still alive. So, but this gets a little fancier, but it's nice because you can hold like 20 vehicles in there and just have Spectrum receivers that are like around that $40, $60 range, and it works. There's all these different buttons, channels. We'll get into that later. You're ready to run stuff. If you go Element, that's another one. Check Element out. RTR. Element makes a great vehicle. I have an Element in Ecto that I've changed over the time. The wife plays with it. That thing is just, it's been tough, it's been rugged, and it works. Just works. It just finds stuff and it goes. This is the control you're going to get from them. It is cheap feeling in the hand. I'll say it as nice as I can. It's pretty much garbage, but it does everything you need it to do for ready to run. Has your controls. It's not water friendly, so if you get caught out in the rain, you want to keep this thing down. But if you want to add a winch to your vehicle, there is a little port on the receiver. Gives you that extra channel 3 auxiliary if you want to plug lights in. But you get a channel 3 auxiliary, and channel 3 is here in the front. Now, is it as handy as this little critter when you want rear steer or something like that? Or if you want your winch, you just have a nice little momentary button? No. But if it's not rear steer... But if you're using a winch, it's not bad because it's click one way, click the other way. You set it, you know, it's going to do its thing. So, okay, I want to winch in. You're winching in. You might give it a little throttle so you have your finger on it. Oh, I got to steer with my winch. Oop, turn the winch off. Steer with the winch, turn the winch off. You get handy with it. It's not too bad. It's just a cheap remote. All right. Now, with Redcat, you get a remote. I don't have my Vanquish remote out here. Redcat's remote, same thing. Not very water resistant. But this has been a good remote until I changed my receiver in the Redcat. It's not bad. It's comfortable. It's lightweight. It's got a little bit better of a feel. Not as chintzy, but still, it's an RTR remote. You can't expect much. You're not going to get good electronics in this thing at the price you're going to pay for the rest of the truck. It's just kind of like, hey, you bought the ready-to-run truck here. Here's some poop to make it work. So if you see, notice I either rubber band a receiver on here. That way, if I ever have to go back to this remote, still got it. You don't lose it in a bin somewhere, okay, or drawers, God knows where. So, again, this thing here, I think I got batteries in it. Might have taken them out. Yeah, it looks like I took them out. Dang it. It's got a little LED light. I guess a little flashlight. It actually does kind of work. But again, this thing here, yeah, the LED button. Not a bad remote. It does what it has to do. It's basic, keeps it simple. Has the channel on there. There's a channel 3, like... It's just a on-off, on-off, on-off. But then you have the channel 4, which it's not as nice as my Spectrum, but winch off, winch in, winch out, winch in, winch out. You got the option. So they give you an extra channel in a factory RTR chintzy $20 probably remote. Who's to cry? They give you a little hole. The Redcat's actually pretty cool. A lot of us, we use a lanyard. That way we don't drop the remote. It's tied around our neck and it hangs. There's a little through hole right up in here if I'm in frame. You can put a little rope in there, tie it off, click a lanyard on it. Nothing fancy, but you have that option. These don't have that. You would have to figure out, put a screw somewhere, do something cheesy, something crappy, something not as nice. And my Spectrum actually does not have anything for a lanyard. So it will. But as the moment, it does not. So... But that's basically it on the RTR stuff. If anybody has any questions or whatever, pop them up, put them on there. This is just going to probably go on. I don't know if I'm going to put this on YouTube or just on the Facebook. I don't know where we're going to go yet. First video. I just want to give a basic rundown on the RTR stuff a little bit to give people new into the hobby somewhere to go before we start getting into crazy stuff and really crunching down and getting into nitty-gritty of inserts and getting into the nitty-gritty of tires and compounds and what works and what doesn't, and rims, what works and what doesn't. This thing here, you got to see how that is in there? Yeah, what works and what doesn't. Offsets, what works and what doesn't. So this is basically just your basic, hey, you want to get into crawling? You want to get into RC in general? Here's a good way to start. So consider the used option. Just be careful. Know what you're getting. look at it, make sure it's not all beat up. You're going to get scratches. Scratches and stuff aren't bad. Just make sure that you don't have rods that look like they're about ready to snap or are cracked. Make sure your drive shafts aren't too beat up. Scratches is okay. Just make sure they're not kind of wobbling and doing stupid stuff. Frame rail is okay. Make sure it's not twisted and stupid. Make sure your shocks are somewhat okay. If you see oil, not a big deal. Shocks are not that expensive depending on what you go with. There's cheap ones, there's good ones, there's really high dollar ones, and there's mid-grade. Not a big deal. You can rebuild them. But just give it a good look. Like almost like you're buying a used vehicle for yourself, or anything for that matter. Look it over real good. Make sure, mechanically it looks solid. Body is not a big deal. That's not a big deal. A lot of people get fearful about the body. Oh my God, the body, I don't know what to do. I need to buy a made body. No, you don't. No, you don't. You could start with a body, trim it out, get one that's pre-trimmed, paint it up. Ain't got to look good. It's a learning process. Bodies are not that expensive. You can screw them up. They're designed to be screwed up. I got stuff that looks worse than this. My poor Element that the wife uses looks worse than this. She's not very friendly with it. Like, we just go. So, she's getting better. But yeah, RTR. Keep it simple. Keep it affordable. If anybody's got any questions, like if you're like, hey, I got a budget. I got a budget of this. What can I get for that? I'll help you out the best I can. It's a great little hobby to get into. Yes, you could go down a rabbit hole, but as I do. But yeah, that's about it for now. I guess we'll keep it simple, keep it light, and not get into like a 3-hour rant that I can easily get into because I can look, ooh, look at that, another RC. Ooh, look at that, another RC. Ooh, parts, tires, oils, shock oils, diff oils. Here we go. So we're going to close it out. We're going to squeaky chair. I'm going to hit the button, and we're going to call it good. Hopefully got something out of this. And again, if you have any questions, I will help you out as soon as I see a message or something that pops up, whatever. Comment on it. I'll try my best to get in there and look at it. I still have a full-time job. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time away from my playtime. But that's why we're here. That's why we started the channel, and we want to help people out and get into this kind of stuff and not be afraid of what you're getting into and give you a little head start and be like, hey, you can buy a used one. Hey, you can buy a new one. Don't buy that one, but buy this one. It'll get you further, longer, and more or less get your money's worth. So that's what we're trying to do here. Hopefully it helped you out something. Again, let us know in the comments, anything you need. Hit us up. We're here for you. For the first video, we're going to call it good, and Duracell says bye. So we will catch you later. See ya.